Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Mukami, the environmentalist, and thank you for being here. Subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed, and let's talk about high risk projects that require an environmental impact assessment report. I believe by the time you're watching this video, you have watched the other two videos that I'm going to link up here. I'm probably going to link them here because we have been doing about these reports. We have low risk projects, we have medium risk projects, and now in this video we shall look at high risk projects. So it is important that you know them all. So if you are planning to develop, to do a building, to do a business or a development, then you know where exactly it falls. So then that one is going to guide you or your expert on the project and the type of report that they need to write for you, the type of environmental assessment that they need to do, how complex, how big should the scope be. That is why I am doing this for you, so that you can be able to, I'm trying to ease your work, and of course I want you to be aware of these things. So let's get started. I have them in my laptop here, so I'm just going to read them out. And they are quite a number. I don't know if we shall finish within this one video or we shall have to do another video, a part 2 for them, because they are quite a number, but we shall see. First, the most important thing is getting started. I think the most difficult thing in a project is getting started, right? So we have general, the first one are general projects, and these includes an activity out of character within its surroundings. An activity out of character within its surroundings. You want to do a project that is not normal, out of a character. Like for example, you want to do now what? You want to do a crocodile farm in a village where there is not even a river, where kids don't even know what is a snake or a crocodile, or the only thing they know is a lizard or something, I think. Then you want to come with your big farm and you want to do crocodile farm. I think that is out of nature, I tend to think, depending on the surrounding. The other one is any structure of a scale not in keeping with its surroundings. Like the project would be so big, it is not with is so big in the comparison to what is in the area. For example, it is just a small town or town centers, and then you want to do a skyscraper. Now that one is a structure that is too big, it is not in keeping with its surroundings, so you need that is a high risk. The other one, number 2, is change in land use, and this includes major change in land use. You had, say, a whole area that was agricultural, there was tea or coffee. Now maybe somebody has purchased, or the government has taken up that land, and now they want to do something else. Like they want to do say they want to do what now, as they're called, what, production zone or processing zones, those industrial zones. Now that is a major land use. Or they want to clear a forest and do a hotel, or in the park and leisure areas in that place. That is major land use. So such, I'm just giving small examples. The other one is large scale resettlement schemes. For example, when we had crashes in 2007 and 2008, in 2007, 2008, when we had crashes, of course people were displaced from their homes, and the government took up the initiative of resettling people. So maybe it's an area that was not occupied, maybe it was a big piece of land that nobody settled there, that was just out idle, and now people want to be settled there. So that is land change of use. Okay, like you're changing the use of that land, large scale. The other one is urban developments, and this includes designation of new township. You want to, if it's a town that is starting up, like the way we have these days, we have estates or residential areas that are coming up. We have the government projects that are coming up, the settlement scheme or the housing scheme, and such things, Tatu City and Konza City, such stuff. Now those ones are high risk. We have under that we still have establishment and expansion of industrial estates. You have an estate that you want to extend, to expand. The other one is establishment or expansion of recreation centers in national parks, national reserves, forests, nature reserves, and any area designated as environmental sensitive. So it's an environmental sensitive area, but you want to do something. Maybe if it's a forest, you want to expand it. If it's a wetland, you want to expand it. So now that is urban development. And we are talking about those that are already in these areas we have mentioned: national park, national reserves, forest, nature reserves, and more. So these areas that are already in the urban and you want to develop something else or to expand something else, like assuming it's Nairobi National Park, you want to do now a house or a big hotel in that area, or like the way the SGR was supposed to pass through the park. Now that is what we're talking about. Establishment of shopping centers, commercial centers, and complexes. Of course, now this is in large scale. We have establishment of hospitals. Remember the other hospital we talked about, dispensaries, health clinic, and health centers. I guess those ones are the ones that we are under low risk. Now hospitals are medium risk, high risk. Hotel with bed capacity exceeding 150. Remember what I talked about this in the videos? We talked about bed capacity ya hoteli iki exceed 150, hiyo ni high risk, lakini ikiwa below 150, that is medium risk. Schools and other learning institutions exceeding 100 learners. Remember, 100 learners and above, high risk, but below is low risk. Other related urban developments. Then we have transport and related infrastructure projects. This includes all new major roads, including track roads. For example, the Mau Mau Road that we have going on. You have heard of Mau Mau Road? That is a mega transport project that is high risk. Do you want me to talk more about that? We have railway lines, we have airports and airfields, we have oil and gas pipelines, we have harbor and ports, construction of tunnels and channels. Remember these tunnels? You remember this tunnel that was in Moranga, I guess? So now these projects, they are big projects and they are under high risk. Why are they high risk? It is because if these projects, something went wrong, the impact, the amount or the size of the risk they pose to the environment is high. For example, pipeline. We have seen accidents that have occurred when a pipeline burst or something goes wrong with the pipeline, right? We have seen something that goes, we have seen oil spillage on the ocean when these things go wrong. So now this is why we have roads. How many trees and vegetations are usually cut when we want to do 100 kilometers of a road? So many. So the risk is very, very high. So that is why they are high risk. The other one is metro transport facilities and underground transport works. Do you even have an underground transport work here in Kenya? Tell me down in the comment section. I hope we get there. So that is under transport. Then we have water resource and related infrastructure, and this includes storage dams and barriers, Kimwarel dams and other dams. These ones are now high risk because the amount of risk that is usually within these projects is so high. Like imagine a dam bursting. We have seen accident of what it does. We have, you know, we can try and imagine what would happen. We have river diversions and water transfer between catchment. Have you seen rivers being diverted and there is so much crisis? Because how do you, like you see, if a river is going through a place, it changes so many things within that place. So trying to divert that river calls for a big disaster in the area. How many trees depend on that river? How many animals depend on that river? How about the diversities that maybe are so stressed in that they are under pressure of extinction, that maybe we are in that that river system, and now it has been diverted and such things. We have seen these things happening, and there has been so much problems. We have flood control schemes. Now when floods come, they come in large amounts, so flood control schemes, projects like those ones are high risk. We have seawall. I don't know if I mentioned in a video I was talking about climate change, and a guy had been interviewed by the Kenya Meteorological Department several years ago, about 2010, I guess, 2009, and he said from when he was a kid, the ocean was far away from where he is. Now these sea levels have been rising, the sea has been moving closer to him, and he could approximate within the next 10 years he would have to move his home. Now in some countries that this is happening as a result of climate change, some countries opt to do a wall, you get what I'm saying, so that you can prevent these waters from coming, or even the tides. Now the sea level is high, now the tides are coming up and down, and sometimes they are dangerous and destructive, so some countries opt to do a seawall. And of course a seawall can be done for other purposes, so such a project is high risk. We have water abstraction works, but of course now this is in large scale. Now this becomes high risk, and also depending on where you are abstracting that water. All right, the other one we have, number 6, is mining and other related activities. Remember we talked about mining somewhere, but that was when we talked of artisan mining, we talked about quarrying of several items there. Now we have mining and other related activities, including precious metals, salt farms, gemstones, ferrous and non-ferrous ores, coal, sulfate, limestone and dolomite, quarrying of stone and slate, harvesting of aggregate sand, gravel, soil and clay, and exploitation of the production of petroleum minerals in any form. That is mining. But of course now this is large scale, it cannot be compared to the artisan. I tend to believe when talk of artisan, this is small scale, like it's done using simple tools to extract the minerals. Either you're doing it by hand or by small artistic machineries. That is what you're using. But now when it comes to this, of course you're using more advanced technology. For example, when it comes to exploitation of petroleum, you expect big machineries will be done, and of course the harm to the environment when it comes to this is much more, and that is why it is high risk. Okay, the other one is forest related activities, and this includes clearing of forest areas. You have seen places where the forest has been cleared. We have reforestation and afforestation with alien species. Now alien species are species that do not belong in the specific area which we are talking about. Assuming it's in a Aberdare forest, you want to bring up a certain tree that does not belong here. For example, you have gone to Austria, you've gone to Dubai, you've gone to the best kwenye unapenda kwenda sana, sijui ni wapi. Let me know down in the comment section the country you'd like to visit the most. You have gone, you went for a vacation, and then you found a specific tree that attracted you, and you thought you could come and try it here. So if you come with it before you do it, then that could be high risk, especially if you want to do it in large scale, like you want to bring a specific species of trees that from America, and you want to come and plant them here in the Kenyan forest. High risk. We have a conversion of forest for whatever purposes. You want to convert a forest, say a natural forest, into a park or a tourist attraction site, or for whatever reason you want to diverse the look, the purpose, the nature of a forest and specific, or to even emphasize more on the natural forest. High risk projects. any other project located within forest reserves, such as construction of dams and other control structures that flood large areas. If you want to do a dam, maybe to control floods along the forest or near the forest reserves, that is high risk project. The other one is agriculture. Now, if you're doing agriculture and you hear what you're doing that is here, then you just need to know that your project is already high risk. One, aerial spraying, and this is done mainly in large scale farming. That is high risk project. Our large scale agriculture exceeding 100 hectares. If your farm, my friend, exceeds 100 hectares, it is high risk. Introduction of new crops and animals, like we said, high risk. You went to another country, you want to come with some pet, some type of a cat, high risk. Then we have large scale irrigation exceeding 100 acres, high risk. The other one is major development in biotechnology, including introduction and testing of genetically modified organisms, that is high risk, as well as biofuel plantation. We have these plants that that have been used to produce fuel. If you want to do those plantations, you need to do an environmental impact assessment, because that project is already high risk. The other one is processing and manufacturing industries, and they include minerals and ore refining processing. We have, like with the way we have the refineries or the coal, yeah, they were called refineries. Like you have gotten your coal, and now you want to all your petroleum products and you want to refine them, high risk. We have large scale brick and earthware manufacturing, cement manufacturing plants, and lime processing. We have glass works, we have fertilizer manufacturing and processing. We have explosive plants, we have tanneries, we have abattoirs, these are the slaughterhouses handling more than 100 animals per day, and meat processing plants. So slaughterhouse handling more than 100 animals, that is goats, sheep, cattle, chicken and stuff. You know what we're talking about, especially the animals. If they exceed 100, that is high risk project and needs a high level of impact assessment report. We have meat processing plants, we have brew and malting. Watu wa najua mko hapa, brew and malting. We have bulk grain processing and storage plant, the Kenya seed, it's called Kenya seed. Yeah, we have large scale fish processing plant. We have pulp and paper mills. We have heavy manufacturing plants. We have lead smelting and processing plants. We have edible oil manufacturing plants. We have steel mills, zamabati. We have sugar factories and other chemical works and processing plants. So umesikia processing plants almost zote ziko wapi? High risk. Power and infrastructure. This includes thermal hydro development that exceeds 10 megawatts. If it is below 10, that is medium. If it is above, high risk. Thermal developments, wind farms, nuclear reactors and nuclear plants, and high volt electric transmission lines. Okay, high voltage. Then we have the hydrocarbon projects, depots and refineries, facilities for hydrocarbons. We have depots for natural gas, oil and gas field developments, or refineries and petrochemical works. The other one is waste disposal works, and these include sewerage works, and wastewater treatment plants. We have installation for disposal of industrial waste, installment of incinerators, sanitary landfills. Do we even have a sanitary landfill in Kenya? Let me know down in the comment section if there's any. If your county has a sanitary landfill, let me know down in the comment section so that we can see which counties have really worked. Then we have hazardous waste treatment and disposal facilities. We have facilities for disposal of solid and liquid hazardous waste. We have sludge treatment facility, e-waste recycling facilities. In Kenya, do you know how many facilities that we have that are licensed? E-waste recyclers, we are less than 10, by the way. We have waste oil recycling facility, waste recycling and processing facility, commercial asbestos disposal sites. How many disposal sites for asbestos do you know in this country? Are you even aware of one? Let me know down in the comment section how many or which one you know, other than the one that is in the earthy. Then we have activities in natural conservation areas. Activities in natural conservation areas. You want to do a project in the conservation areas, high risk. And those ones include establishment of protected areas, buffer zones, and wilderness areas. We have actions likely to affect endangered species of flora and fauna, formulation and modification of water catchment management projects. Okay, you want to modify them. Then projects for the management of ecosystem, especially by manipulating fire and water. We have commercial exploitation of natural fauna and flora. We have introduction of alien species of fauna and flora into ecosystems. Wetland reclamation or any other project likely to affect the wetland. Guys, have you heard about that? The wetland. Nyinyi watu wenye mnajenga kwa wetland. If you are trying to, let me read it again. Wetland reclamation, project wetland reclamation or any other projects likely to affect the wetland. So if you want to do a house near the river, that is high risk project. We have projects located in indigenous forest, including outside of gazetted forest. Wanataka kujenga kwa msitu, maybe hoteli ama sijui nini hiyo, high risk project. Any project in the environmentally sensitive area. Then we have those that are in marine resource exploitation and reclamation, and this includes mineral exploitation of resources in the marine areas. Marine is a no-go zone area. So if you want to extract our resources, maybe the salt, that is a high risk project. I have seen a lot of controversy happening about a farm that is doing salt. Is salt processing or manufacturing, and they tried to clear some mangrove from some forest in the coast, and of course the villagers and the people decided to stop that company from proceeding, and they had to be given a stop order and asked to do an environmental impact assessment for the project, because now that is high risk. How do you clear mangrove to extract salt? My friends, that is high risk. I'm not saying it's not impossible, it's not possible, it could be impossible, but that is high risk project. The impacts are high, the risk it poses to the environment is also high, and special and comprehensive assessment needs to be done before such a project is approved for proceedings. Then we have reclamation of marine areas and mariculture. You know, mariculture, we're doing it on the mainly, it's usually mainly the fish or the aquatic animals or plants, such any other project which pose high environmental risk. Like we say, these are high risk projects, and any other project that is not mentioned and poses high risk to the environment is high risk. And so we are done. Imagine we are done. Like we are done. So go through this video, pause as much as you can so that you can be able to get the real picture and the real thing. And as I said, I'm going to download this thing. I'm going to give you a link to this amendment down in the comment section so that you can also have it by yourself and look at it. So it is going to be down so that you can have it. Subscribe to my channel, dude. Subscribe to my channel, girl. subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep safe and God bless you.